Okay, you're on now.
All right, thank you. I would like to call to order the Haymarket Town Council public hearing and regular monthly meeting to order for Monday, April 6, 2026. Roll call, please.
Fasenello. Person.
Here.
Gallagher.
Here.
Hager.
Here.
Capasella. Baker.
Here.
Vianney.
Here.
If you'll join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, tonight's invocation will be given by, please help me with your name. I apologize. Rizwan
You got it. Yep.
Jaka.
You got it.
Perfect. From All Dulles Area Muslim Society. Thank you so much.
Great. Peace be with you all. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Town Council, town staff, law enforcement, and community members. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you all. It's an honor to be back here at the town of Haymarket. We truly appreciate the pluralism, as the American motto, e pluribus unum, out of many one. So it's an honor to be back here to do the opening prayer. We'll do a little reflection as I've for almost 11 years now, been coming here and then we'll do the prayer. And so first, happy Easter to my Christian brothers and sisters. And this, yesterday was the celebration of Easter. I hope everyone had a very nice holiday. And also happy Passover to my Jewish brothers and sisters that are in the midst of Passover. It's what I call a confluence of holy seasons in this past several weeks. Ramadan for the Muslim community, which I come from, we had started on February 18th. At the same time as Lent season. So it was a beautiful, same day, both started for the Muslim and Christian community worldwide. And so it was a blessing to have both seasons at the same time. The Muslim conclusion of Ramadan was the Eid holiday on March 20th. The Baha'i community also fasts in March as well. The Hindu community had the holy season as well during the time of March, and the Ugadi holiday as well. And as mentioned, obviously we're in the time of Passover. The Sikh community has Vaisakhi coming up just in a few weeks. And it just reminds us of the pluralism, the religious freedom that we want to continue to uphold in our nation, in our town, and in our commonwealth, and in our world. And so it's a blessing. Yesterday we had our 25th annual Interfaith Passover Seder with the Muslim and Jewish community coming together. We have this upcoming Saturday, a Easter holiday program at the Embassy of Pakistan that will be held in an interfaith manner for religious freedom and harmony. And so it's just a blessing. I wanted to share those with you. Our scouting is in our 26th year. And we had our 26th scouting Ramadan Iftar. And I mentioned to you all last year, the Adams Compassionate Healthcare Network, the clinic, we moved into a new place and we are now fully established in triple the size of the location, ready to serve more people that are uninsured, so we can help those that need the help that we must strive for. And so just wanted to share those reflections. And finally, the Adams Greater Gainesville location just started the groundbreaking and the construction project in Western Prince William County. And our community members are grateful to Prince William County for upholding civil liberties and religious freedom. So just wanted to share those reflections and accomplishments and truly appreciate your partnership in pluralism. I will now start the prayer. Let us pray. Peace, salam, shalom, shanti, sukh, pax, paz. We start with greetings of peace in all faith traditions. May God help us to inculcate and strive for peace, harmony, respect, and love throughout. God reminds us of the golden rule to treat others the way we want to be treated. And we ask God Almighty to help reaffirm those traditions that I will share from multiple faith traditions. In Islam, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, reminded us, none of us truly believes unless we wish for our brother and sister for what we wish for ourselves. In Christianity, the Bible, in Matthew 39, God reminds us, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. In the Torah, in Leviticus, in the Old Testament for Judaism, God reminds us and instructs people to be useful to their neighbors. For the Baha'i community, blessed is he who prefereth his brother and sister before themselves. For the Buddhist community, hurt not others in the ways that you yourself would find hurtful. For the Hindu community, do not do anything to others which you do not want to be done to yourself. From the Sikh community, compassion, mercy, and religion are the support of the entire world. We ask God Almighty to help us reaffirm those principles of the multiple faith traditions, the messages that are common for us all. If we can remember that, we hope and pray for a better world. We ask God to help us remember the lessons of the Exodus, when God saved Prophet Moses and his people, that freedom and liberty were graces from God Almighty. May God bless and guide our town of Haymarket, our mayor, the town council, the staff, the police, the fire department, our National Guard, our U.S. military, and all their families. May God guide them and us all to do the best they can and we can for the town of Haymarket, the Commonwealth of Virginia, United States of America, and the world. We appreciate all their leadership and sacrifice for the public good. May God bless the Commonwealth of Virginia, the town of Haymarket, the USA, and the world. Amen.
Thank you very much. All right.
Actually, I do have one item for y'all, if it's okay. It's from the Scouting, the Adams Scouting. Would like to present to you all patches from our Ramadan Iftar, our annual tradition. Some might say 26 or 25, so you will get a potpourri of them. So I think they're all 25. So again, a great tradition of
Thank you.
God and country. I don't know if there's a town council member here.
Yes.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Give one for Joe.
Yep, there we go. Council member, we go way back.
Thanks,
There
sir.
we go.
Thank you.
Henry? No, no. And we have a scout here. We'll be giving him a patch too. Thank you. There we go. And actually, we got citizens here. Give it to you all as well. There we go. Citizen one. Thank you. Scouts coming up. Here we go.
Citizen one, citizen two.
Peace be with you all.
And here I thought
Red
it was very
fish,
collecting
blue
scout
fish.
patches.
No, thank you very, very much.
I have a
right.
massive number.
Did we have anybody from the Dominions Women's Club present? No? All right. Thank you. So it gives me great pleasure to proclaim April as Child Abuse Awareness Month. You will notice the pinwheels in our museum gardens and yard. Every year, the Dominions Women's Club come dedicate their time and plant the pinwheels to bring awareness that together we can create a safe environment for our children. Thank you for doing so. And I would like to read the proclamation into record if I could, please. A proclamation to observe April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas our children are our most valuable resource and are vital to our future success, prosperity, and quality of life. They are also the most vulnerable members of our society. And whereas child abuse is a community problem and finding solutions depends on the environment of the people throughout the community. And whereas all children deserve to have the safe, stable, nurturing homes and communities they need to foster their healthy growth and development. And whereas the most important thing we can do to help children thrive is to support families before they reach a crisis. And whereas effective child abuse prevention activities and training succeed because of the partnerships created among individuals and families, healthcare professionals, schools, community and civic organizations, faith-based organizations, businesses, and law enforcement agencies. And whereas the Haymarket Town Council acknowledges that we must all work together to increase awareness about child abuse and create safe and healthy environments for children where they can live with supportive families and engaged communities. Now, therefore, the Town Council of the Town of Haymarket, Virginia, does hereby proclaim April 2026 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month and urges all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all children and families. And now, further, therefore, the Haymarket Town Council presents this proclamation to GFWC Dominion Women's Club and recognizes them for the many years of decorating our town museum garden with pinwheels and supporting this cause. In witness thereof, the 6th day of April, 2026. We will make certain that this gets to the women of Dominion Valley Women's Club. Thank you. All right. This brings us to our public hearing. Kim, could you read the public notice into record, please?
Will do my best, Mayor.
Mhm.
Notice is hereby provided pursuant to section 58.1-3321 of the Code of Virginia that the town of Haymarket, Virginia proposes to increase personal property tax levies for the fiscal year 2026-2027. The assessment increase, the total assessed value of real property, excluding additional assessments due to new construction or improvements to property, exceeds last year's total assessed value of real property by 13.5%. The lowered rate necessary to offset the increased assessment. This is a tax rate which would levy the same amount of real estate tax as last year when multiplied by the new total assessed value of the real estate with the exclusion mentioned above would be 0.098 per 100 of assessed value. I'm sorry, 0.095 per 100 of assessed value. This rate is also known as the lower tax rate. The respective tax increase. The town of Haymarket proposes to adopt a tax rate of no more than its current rate of 0.098 cents per 100 of assessed value. The difference between the lower tax rate and the proposed tax rate would be 0.003 cents per 100 or 3.06%. This difference will be known as the effective tax rate increase. Individuals' property taxes may, however, increase at the percentage greater than or less than the above percentage. The proposed total budget increase based on the proposed real estate tax rate and changes in the other revenues, the total budget of the town of Haymarket will increase last year's by 2.6%. The public hearing on the increase will be held on April 6, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the town of Haymarket Town Hall, located at 15000 Washington Street, Suite 100, Haymarket, Virginia 20169.
Thank you. All right, Roberto, could you please give us a brief report on the proposed tax rate?
Good evening, Council and Mayor. The proposed rate that town we've been talking through with the budget is recommended proposed is to keep the same tax rate of 0.098. Per the financial analysis that we had as well, it's starting to align with what their prediction is for the next 5 years. I believe they said anywhere between 4 to 5% is what the town was seeing an increase. And we're beginning to see that slow down on the assessment amounts year per year. This basically would, the proposed rate would show an increase on tax rates, but on average about $22 on a single family home and about $20 on a townhome. In our budget, this would show an increase from 501,770 currently to 520,944. That's about a 3.8% increase from last year's expected revenues. This aligns with similar to, this is still yet under what we predict to have for trash service, which will be another 4% increase this coming year. So this is a little bit under that, but hopefully able to minimize that impact for the town residents. Is there any questions on the matter?
The 22 per year, it was per year for single family and 20 per year for townhomes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, the town does, we only send out our real estate town taxes once a year in December. But the residents do get from the county 2 separate occasions. But for us, it's only going to be a $22 increase on that one-time bill, annual bill.
Any questions to my right? No?
No, it's
Neither.
citizens' time, so nothing from me.
I was just gonna clarify that $22, $20, that's average. It doesn't mean that it applies to everyone, right?
Correct,
That's just
correct.
average, okay.
Some may see lower than that, depending on the home, depending if there's any work that's been done to it recently. That's part of the assessments that could drive it up. But on average, that's what it would look like.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, I would like to open the floor to citizens to make comment.
I have a comment.
Okay, if you'll come up to the podium and just state your name and your address, that would be lovely. Thank you.
I have 2 copies of what I'm going to talk about. I just get this.
And it has to do with the public hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you said to state my name? Yeah, my name is Peter Kwan. I live at 14917 Simmons Grove Drive, Haymarket, Virginia.
Okay. And is this is in regards to the public hearing and the tax rate?
I called the town of Haymarket a few weeks ago, and I said I had something to talk about regarding the town, and they said to come to this meeting the first Monday of the month. So this is something concerning the town.
Right, but not the tax rate that we just.
Yeah,
opened
not
up.
the tax.
Okay,
yeah.
so we're going to open that discussion up, and then once we close that, then
Okay.
I'll open it up
Okay.
again for you, absolutely.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, is there anyone who would like to address the town council on the public hearing? No? Are there any emails?
I mean,
All right. So I will now close the public hearing and then open it up to the regular citizens' time. So now, thank you.
Sorry for the confusion.
No, you're fine.
So my name is Peter Kwan, and I'm here to talk about flock safety because American security is up for sale. Before I go into what flock safety is, I'll tell you a little bit about who I am. My name is Peter Kwan. I've been a software developer for 12 years, working at Microsoft and government agencies. And the past 3 years, I've been using AI to build my own startup. So I'm very familiar with technology, where it's going, and AI. So right now, what is Flock Safety? Flock Safety is an Atlanta-based tech company selling AI-powered surveillance cameras to police departments and neighborhoods around the US. The benefits of this are obvious, but the consequences are pretty severe right now because Congress is not keeping up with these changes. So what is Flock Safety and what are they doing? What are they doing? Their cameras record vehicles that pass by every day, building a permanent movement history of American citizens without their knowledge or consent. That data is shared across thousands of agencies nationwide in real time with no federal oversight. They capture 20 billion license plates per month, vehicle make, model, unique features of the car, timestamp, whether or not the driver was suspected of any crime. All this data is uploaded to Flock's private cloud. And right now, they're expanding their capabilities to do live video streaming, drones, and always-on microphones. So those cameras that are capturing 20 billion license plates are all equipped to now do live video recording. The dangers of this, there's no federal oversight. This presentation that I gave to them, I gave this to Congressman Subramaniam's aides last week. This is the exact presentation I gave them. Right now, there's no federal oversight. There's zero guardrails. Flock Safety is doing whatever they want with this data, and they're sharing it with whoever they want, and no one knows if what they're saying, if the rules they have in place, they're actually following. The second danger is this is already happening in China. Jesse Yang with CNN said China's ruling Communist Party is using AI to turbocharge the surveillance and control of its 1.4 billion citizens, with the technology reaching further into daily life, predicting public demonstrations, and monitoring the moods of prison inmates. The third concern is foreign money. Who really controls this data? Flock's lead investor is with A16Z. His name is Horowitz. He led the most recent $275 million funding round in 2025. Why does this matter? Because his investment firm is in active talks with Saudi Arabia for a $40 billion AI fund. So that begs the question, how much money of that Saudi Arabia fund is going into Flock Safety, which is American mass surveillance, or American security tool, however you want to look at it. But there seems to be Saudi Arabian interest in Flock Safety, which is capturing the lives of Americans around the nation right now. Also, Flock Safety is on the pathway to an IPO. So American surveillance is going to be publicly traded. This is a huge deal that only software engineers and AI engineers are talking about. We're all talking about this. It's not just me. Right now, there's 3 images. The first one is a map of how many cameras we predict to be around the nation right now. This is all crowdsourced information from people like me all over the country who are tracking this. The second one is the much more interesting one. The top one is how many cameras is zoomed into Northern Virginia, and the bottom one is a close-up of how many cameras there are today in Northern Virginia. You'll see that it looks like it's like half blue. It's because there's a lot of cameras in Northern Virginia, and there's 4 in Haymarket. The reason I came here is because obviously the concerns for this are very real. American mass surveillance capabilities are going to be publicly traded, and Saudi Arabia seems to have a huge interest in this. And right now, AI is the greatest technology ever created. AI engineers who are using AI the way I am, the startups around me are, and my friends who work at the AI companies, we're all literally talking about how we're 100 to 200 times more productive. It is out of this world. And Flock Safety is a company full of very, very smart people. They're using AI in the same ways I am, if not better. So the capabilities of Flock Safety is going to be very dystopian in a couple years. And there's no congressional oversight. No one knows what to do. I am very confident that complete state surveillance capability could be replicated within the US within 3 years. Facial recognition, behavioral prediction, real-time tracking at scale by a private company that's going to be publicly traded, that's taking money from Saudi Arabia, and Congress doesn't know what to do. So what should we do? Until Congress has laws to govern this data, we really should consider taking down the Flock cameras in Haymarket until something is done about this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Kim, do we have any emails? No. All right. All right, so we are going to move on to the consent agenda. We're on packet page 4. Would anyone like to pull any of the reports? No? No? This side? None?
None.
All right. So if we do not have any reports being pulled, do I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Yep, I move to adopt section A 1 and 2, B 1 through 5, and C 1 through 4.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor? Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We will now move on to the agenda items. The first item on the agenda is our town event coordinator, Julia Crawford, sharing information on one of my favorite events, the farmers market.
Good evening, council. With the farmers market starting this Sunday, I just wanted to give some updates on what to expect this season. But before I do that, I want to go over, at the end of each season, I send a survey out to all of the vendors. So there's a few things that I just wanted to mention before I start talking about the 2026 season. Last year, we had 25 people respond to our survey. I just thought it was interesting. 100% of them said that they plan on returning for the 2026 season. So I think that says something. They all said customer turnout was good or very good. Everyone loved the live music. So it was all positive things. And everyone also liked the new layout that we did last year. One question that I wanted to ask all of the vendors was regarding our 4 canceled markets that we do. The 4th of July weekend, we didn't have a market. Haymarket Day, the Sunday after that, and after summer concert. And Easter fell between the season last year, so we also canceled that. I heard a lot of feedback from the farmers saying that it's very important when there's fresh produce, they want to have a market. So this year we will be having a market the 4th of July weekend. We're going to test it out. We will not be having it after Haymarket Day, but we will be doing it on the 4th of July and after the summer concert. So we'll see how that goes this year. Regarding the 2026 season, it will be starting this Sunday, the 12th, and it'll go every Sunday until November 15th from 9 a.m. to 1. We have 31 full-time vendors, 28 part-time vendors, and as of right now, we have 23 drop-in vendors. So we're getting a wide variety every single weekend. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope to see all of you there this Sunday. The mayor will be there the first Sunday of every single month doing Talk with the Mayor. So I'll be there every Sunday. So you can come say hi to me whenever. But you can also stop in and sit down at our booth on the first Sunday of every month. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. But besides that,
Any questions?
perfect.
No? Who's the performing artist on this Sunday?
I should have known
told you
that.
I was going to ask that
you
question.
should have
Sorry.
asked me. I believe his name is Brian, but I don't know his stage name off the top of my head. But it's the first time performing at the market. So
Very
yeah,
exciting.
we have some new live music coming. Yeah, we'll have live music every Sunday. So come out and enjoy it.
Very exciting. And the
Perfect.
weather's supposed to be good.
Yeah, 70 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be perfect.
Mhm.
All right,
Perfect.
Ken.
Any layout changes or same as last year?
We're keeping it the same as last year. We'll have the parking lot closed just like we did last year. I think that was a really good thing that we did, so we don't have any cars coming through the layout. But yeah, we're keeping it the same.
How about feedback on setup and breakdown and parking?
Parking is our biggest issue for sure. Emily and I walked the layout, tried to work through a few different scenarios. Vendor parking will be along Town Hall. We've asked that no vendors park behind the building. We saved that for some of our tenants upstairs who have business on Sundays, the police department, Copper Cricket, and other customer parking throughout the day. I've talked with the Remax building over there, the brick building. They have let us list their parking lot as open for customers, so that's a great addition. Thrive Med Spa also has given their parking lot, and the dental office down that way. So those are all advertised. Hidden Jewels, I know, has said that they love having customers park over there because they come in and buy something at Hidden Jewels. So that is also available parking. So we've tried to add some this year. But yeah,
All right, awesome.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
perfect. See you all on Sunday.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so we are going to move on to our citizens communication flyer on page 60. Also Julia.
Okay, back in February on the 23rd, at the work session, I presented the communication one-pager. I made all the revisions that council requested, and we would just like to move forward with getting this out to the community, advertising it, if there are no other updates.
I didn't see any. Did anybody have any contributions? All right. And how are we getting it out?
We will have it printed. I know when we do our new business and community folders, I'd like to include them in that as well, and then posting it on social media as well.
Perfect.
And I think it's a good thing we can include in our next newsletter too.
And we'll keep it at the
We'll have
town
it.
Haymarket and at the farmer's market.
Yep.
Right? Awesome.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you.
Perfect.
All right, did you have anything, Justin? No? Everybody's good?
Good.
All right, here we go.
I think we can end.
I was like, we're moving right along.
Wedding service.
I'm so excited. All right, so next is information on Bob Weir Open Government Day. Emily?
Take one, pass it down. You want me to leave one right here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, passing around is the flyer that we have made for the Bob Weir Government Open House Day. I'd love all feedback, but I'd love to start getting this posted on social media so we have a good turnout for that event.
I think it looks good.
Has everybody confirmed for the special guest?
Everyone that's listed on there has confirmed. Yep.
Our plan, as we previously discussed, is we'll have it open house style in here. So we'll have some nice tables set up. Each of the special guests will be able to have a table here and they can have a spot where they can sit with a citizen if they come in requesting additional information or want to sit down and have conversation. We encourage all of council as well to come in and be present for that opportunity to connect with citizens. We will be getting some pizzas from Giuseppe's. It felt very fitting as Bob was a big fan of Giuseppe's. So we'll be having some of that as well. And then we'll be reaching out and having some conversations with our special guests if there's anything in addition, material-wise or anything that they might like to see up at the open house. If you have any suggestions, please let us know. We'll have some maps and other items, other paper deliverables if people are interested in taking more information about their community.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yes.
It's a good way to remember a friend and colleague. Any questions,
That looks great.
feedback, concerns? Okay,
Good.
awesome.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Please help us share the word.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to move on to the employee training and travel policy, starting on page 63. Emily, do you have anything for us?
Okay. So this is the employee training and travel policy that we discussed at our work session last week. So we have rewritten this from a previous version to better align it with the intentions of education of staff members and opportunities to continue to support the growth and development of our staff. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer. We made all of the modifications as previously discussed. We have also created the training travel form, approval form for staff members to fill out. So everything is in place. And once adopted, we will start working through this actively.
Were there any additional concerns? Anything noted? No? No, Alexander, you didn't have anything? All right. So with that being said, could I get a motion for adoption?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it. I move that the Haymarket Town Council adopt the Haymarket Employee Training and Travel Policy as presented.
A motion, may I have a second, please?
I second. Roll call.
Motion second, roll call.
Go ahead now.
No.
No, just
Go
I.
ahead and vote.
Oh, we're voting on our. See, I'm like stuck in the
Be able
past.
to vote on your
That's right.
pen.
Let me pull it up, refresh. I forgot that. It's already
Okay,
set.
Vote is Gallagher, yay. Baker, yay. Hannah, yay. Larson, yay.
You mean I came in fourth
Yay.
place?
You're a little slow. You're a little slow
Yeah.
there.
Slow.
Double Jeopardy.
All right, so we will move on to the next agenda item, the town park closing hours ordinance and authorizing for a public hearing. Emily?
Yes, so we just need a directive to authorize a public hearing notice to go out. We are looking at holding that next public hearing on May 4th. And again, this is for the park closing hours so that we can have an ordinance in place with specific times that our town park is open and closed.
You want to make the directive?
Beforehand, discussion
Yes.
on it,
Yep.
or? The closing hours, I'm used to going before and after. Were we supposed to do an after on the closing time? After, half hour after sunset or half hour before sunset?
We,
I thought-
what are you recommending?
30 minutes before. That should be 30 minutes.
30 minutes before.
Yeah.
the Definition.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, logically, I'm used to half hour before and half hour after, just because there is daylight forming and daylight disappearing, right? And usually it's still kind of daylight. So I didn't know if that was a miss or not.
So you'd prefer definition 3 to be 30 minutes after sunset?
I prefer that. Yeah, that gives just a little bit more time, and the light is still dimming, but it's still within,
Right.
I think, a respectable time.
Yes, sir. Understood.
That gives people an extra hour to play.
Okay.
Any
I was
objections?
going to say, does anybody have any objections to that?
No. Okay.
And that
Good.
will ebb and flow as the season occurs.
Correct.
Yep.
Sounds good. We'll get it fixed up.
All
No
right,
objection.
Thank you.
awesome. Is that the only noted change? Yes? Okay.
Move it to public.
All right.
Yeah.
Without objection, I direct staff to proceed with a public notice for a May 4th public hearing.
With the amended changes.
Oh, with the amended changes.
Second. No objection.
No,
No objection.
absolutely. All right, so that brings us to our last agenda item, which is the FY27 budget work session. Roberto?
It's okay, I'll just do it from here, the talking point. So the proposed budget, FY 2027 you're seeing in front of you is with the revision that was requested in our work session of moving 15,000 from the consultant on the expenditure line item. Just let me get to that. It'll be on page. On page 7, we moved over from line item 8110004. Yes, we removed 15,000 from there and moved the 15,000 over to page 8 for the, if I can find it. I apologize, page 9 into line item 9410701, which is the blight mitigation, to make that an even 20,000. I'm speaking to you guys here, that was the only changes that were requested. If council is okay with this budget, I would probably use this budget to move forward for the public notice for the May 4th meeting and public hearing, unless there's other changes that the council would wish to see.
Are you okay?
I am good.
I'm good.
All right. Alexander, did you have any questions, changes?
do have questions. I missed the work session, right?
And
Of course.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, Roberto, but based on what I'm seeing, it looks like the increase when it comes to revenue, current fiscal year to the proposed budget, right? Next fiscal year, it looks like it's $124,052.
Mhm.
Okay. But again, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it looks like our expenses in terms of the increases for the next fiscal year are going to exceed $124,052, right? Not taking into consideration the town center, the park, just from operation perspective, right? Correct?
It should be about this, it should be the same because it is a balanced budget, the 4,189,565.
Yeah, it's not about being, about balanced budget, right? My question is about, I understand that financially speaking, we are doing well. We've had surpluses, what have you, right? But based on what I'm seeing, it looks like the increase of revenue is not matching up with the increase in the expenses, meaning the expenses are outpacing our revenue. That's what it appears to me. Do you agree with that?
No.
The 124,000 is not enough to cover the increases in the expenses.
It is, actually it is. And we're actually, in this budget, we actually are placing 239,000 in a contingency fund because we still haven't addressed a current study that we're still waiting for the results on.
Yes, that is a surplus. We've had surpluses in the
That is not a
past.
surplus. That 239,000 is revenue based from operational revenues. There is no surplus on here because this is operation. If we have to use reserves, it would be use of funds on the first page is where we would use if we need to use surplus funds on the revenue side, which would be on, you would have to see them on the, well, with the exception of the debt service, 4003, use of fund balance dash debt service. That is to show that that is how we are looking to pay our debt service if we get into this loan based off of that loan plan that VML had presented to us.
Okay. Let's take this approach, right? We said that the increase in revenue in comparison to the current fiscal year is $124,052, meaning next fiscal year, we are expecting to gain an additional revenue of that amount, right?
Mhm.
That's what we're saying. And then let's take a look at on page, page 72. Let's take a look at our general fund expenditures without even just taking out the calculator, right? So if you were to add up the increase for convention education, 1,950. You add up salaries and wages regular, you add up the increase in salaries and wages for regular, right? 84,000. I know there is a reduction of 33,000, but at the end of the day, that's an increase of 55,000. You keep on going, right? 4,000, 27,000, 53,000. Before long, you're gonna be exceeding that 124,000. That's what I'm trying to get at. Does that make sense?
I'm not following you with it because we have removed a lot on the expenditure side. If you look at it, some of the bigger numbers we've removed are now because we have a separate CIP fund. So that's why there's also a lot of funds that we have removed that are not.
By just moving it to CIP doesn't mean we have eliminated the expenditure, right?
In
It's still there.
An operational portion of the budget means these are the items that we operationally need to function. CIPs are plans, 5-year plans on births of the CIP that if if the monies are there and things are going positive, we can execute those plans. But in the past, similar to when COVID happened, a lot of the CIP items were the first full stop. There was no expenses done that were not needed. We strictly stuck to operational needs and to function for the residents.
Okay.
So that's why they were separated, because it's always been a question of mixing CIP with operational funds, and this is the year that we have split it apart. Has its own CIP account, its own revenue source that's gaining interest on its own account. It is not colluded with the general funds. It is now separate from that. So right now, what this budget is showing you, that based on general funds alone, the town right now has 239,000 in contingencies that, from my understanding from the council and the board, is that we're holding on that to see where we're going with this compensation study. And there is a plan to have a contingency in this budget because of the projects we'll be in, but that'll be funded through reserves, which reserves are not considered revenues. Those are reserves. Those are surplus based off surplus.
Okay. Do you by any chance have the number, the total number amount in terms of increase in expenses just from the operations side of things? Do you have that total number, that amount, or is that readily available?
I can get all those numbers, but it's essentially on the operational expenditure side, it would be that difference of 4,065,000 with 4,089,000. If you wanted to exclude the contingency, it would actually show you that too. But I can get with you tomorrow. I know we have a finance meeting tomorrow, so we can discuss that as well.
All right. Okay,
There's
go-
some items on the operational though that I do have to state are one-time things. For example, the prime example is the comprehensive plan consultant. If that is completed within this fiscal year, next year we won't be carrying 35,000 for that line item, because that's every 5-year work that would be done. So it wouldn't be carried in the next year's operational budget.
Okay. I don't know if the other town councils are understanding what I was referring to, right? What I'm doing is, and again, he agreed that the increase when it comes to the revenue is 124,000, right? That's what we're expecting next fiscal year. But if you look at the expenses on the operations side, aside from the outlay for the capital outlay for the police department, right? You just keep on adding up the expenses, the increases in expenses in comparison to last year. We'll discuss it tomorrow, right? And again, my concern is that our expenses are exceeding the increases in the revenue that we're expecting, if that makes sense, right? That's my concern. Yes, it doesn't mean that we don't have an ability to cover it, because we've been running surpluses, right? We're fine. There's no issue with that. It's just that if we continue this way, then we're going to be eroding more into our surpluses, right? That's what I was trying to get at.
So the past 2-3 budgets, so to make it clear, we have not used, the reason we have surplus is because we haven't been in the red. Since I've been here in 7 years, we haven't. So essentially, we have always been within our budget and very conservative on our expenditures, that we leave, many of the departments do leave money on the table, meaning they do come overall within budget, under the budgeted amount. And just because it's budgeted doesn't necessarily mean we will spend it. So just want to be clear on that though.
No, okay. Page 77. I'm trying to understand and again, I know we can have this discussion tomorrow, right? But I think it's better for me ask these questions for the public as well as for the fellow council members, right? Okay, looking at other revenues, okay, the CARES, we're getting $900,000 from the CARES Act fund, from the American Rescue Plans Fund, right? So it's a proposed change of $992,000. So that's $1.1 million from the ARPA fund, right? Now,
We already have those funds. Those
Yes.
funds have been
yes,
set aside for this purpose, yeah.
okay. And then the estimate for the town center is $2.5 million. And based on what I'm seeing here, what we're proposing is doing a 50% cash, 50% loan for that amount, for that 2.5 million, right? That means we need 1.25 million in cash. So I see 1.1 million from the ARPA fund. Where is the 150K coming from?
On the development funds, we have 300,000 that's from transportation proffers because of the turn lane. I think we
Yes.
talked about
Yes.
this during the
Okay.
yes,
And the 443,664 is for the park.
correct.
Right, okay. So we're moving 300K, that's 50K and extra, where is that 50K going to? No, actually in excess, what we need is 125. No, hold on. So we're getting 1.1. So what we need is 50%, 1.2, yeah. 125K is in addition to what we need, in addition to the 1.1 million, right, to be at 50%?
No, so the budget is the way it's reads, we're going to fully exhaust 1.1 million from the ARPA.
Okay,
Then we're going to have a loan proceeds, which is basically the loan of 1.1. 300,000 will also come from the transportation proffer, which cash in hand will be 1,400,000. And the total project estimated, again, this is an estimated amount, but just for budgeting purposes, we went with this estimate of 2.5 million. Though it could probably be a little bit more because of bonding costs, depending on what that comes up. But this is what we are going with, the estimate of $2.5 million project. So the town is going to put up 1.1 million of ARPA, 300,000 from transportation proffers, and then with the loan proceeds of 1.1 equals to 2.5 to fund the project.
okay. This is how I did it, right? The project estimate is 2.5 million. 50% of that is 1.25 million, right? We're getting 1.1 million from ARPA funds. Then which means we are short 125K, right? To be at that 50%.
We have 1.4 in cash, so it's a little bit more than the 50% that we're putting up cash. And we're doing that because we don't know additional costs for bonding or anything, but so we want to make sure we have the cash in hand. But just like the park sidewalk, I put a 30% contingency amount in there, yet we did not fully use it. It's just better for budgeting purposes to come with the worst case scenario in it. I don't know what the bonding costs are being, if there's going to be any transaction fees, administrative fees through the bank loan to process that. That's why we're putting some cash in hand to do so, to get that 1.1, because that is what we had the financial analysts worked on for 1.1.
So we're doing 1.1 plus 3, that's 1,400,000. That's just contingency, the extra.
Correct. Just because
Okay.
it's budget doesn't mean we intend to fully spend it. It's just for proper budgeting, just to have that
Okay.
room for error or room for additional costs we may not see right now. Because as of right now, we have not spoken to a bank. We have not put this through RFP, and we don't even really know if 2.5 is going to be the total cost of the project. We're still going through that process.
Yeah, the reason I ask is the note here says 50% cash, 50% loan, and I was doing the calculation, and it was exceeding that 50%, and I wasn't sure, right, what the remaining fund was being used for. And then the note here about PD CIP portion, $56,800 on the same line item. What is that? What is that about?
Which
What's the vacant?
It's no, I'm looking at this big thing that was given the last page.
He's on page 7 out of
7 out of 7.
is it 9 or 7?
The big one, the
Yeah.
7.
Which page are you looking at?
Last page, 7.
7?
Yeah, the readjusted's a 10 page.
10, yeah, I've got 10.
Okay.
Page 10?
I don't know how that works.
All right, sorry.
I know what you.
I was looking at the one that Kim gave me when I was here.
I think you look at.
Oh no, we have a new one up there. I placed a new one up there.
Okay.
I have the notes on the side.
But anyways, the version that Kim gave me, there was a note about on the same line item, assess profits from Park and Rec plus transportation for turn lane work. And then it said, created a CIP fund account to separate from operational budget, PD CIP portion, 56,800. So I wasn't sure why
I'm trying to pull that.
the PD's CIP portion was associated with that line item, but
Does that match up with this current one?
it's okay.
Is that the same one as this one? This one's
Up to date.
It is. So I don't know if it's lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we're going off. the old-
I think we can maybe.
Oh.
get clarification.
That line basically is stating that out of that 371,800, 56,800 is to
The in-car cameras?
it should be for the cruiser.
Why would it be?
I thought it was the cruiser.
The cruiser, yeah.
Because on the breakdown, I'll look into that note because I've been working with this thing. I did take the notes off. So you have one that
That's the note.
is not on the revised version of it, but I'll have to look at that note again. We could definitely discuss it tomorrow at the finance if you want.
Okay. All right, so I think it's best that I look at the revised version and we can discuss tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Robert.
Mhm.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, no,
Alright.
absolutely. So we're all good?
Yeah, last week.
All right, so that actually takes care of our agenda items this evening. So we can move on to council member time. All right, we're going to start with you, Vice Mayor.
Start with me. I never like going first. First of all, just want to recognize in the audience, we do have one of our scouts from Scouting America in the audience from Troop 1882 in Haymarket. Thank you for coming out. I understand you've just crossed over from Cub Scouts into Boy Scouts, so congratulations and hope you have a great career. I'm a little biased on this one, but I think you're in a great troop. So I also want to thank Mr. Kwan. Thank you very much for coming out. I appreciate you coming out and highlighting the issues. Certainly something that to keep an eye on. And I would echo what you said. AI is certainly a very prevalent in our world right now. And there's tons of great things you can do with it. And there's also always tons of concerns. So thank you for coming out and voicing your opinion. Truly, truly, truly appreciate that. With that said, I think that's all I have for today.
Awesome. Thanks. All right, Mr. Larson.
All right, yeah, I don't have much to say. Just need to say, have you guys heard that we're going to have a farmer's market this Saturday or Sunday? Sunday. So yeah, please come out. Please come out to that. Hopefully we'll have good weather. Other than that, I can't wait for the public announcements to come up for our budget and everything else. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, we have a couple council persons out, so we are going to go to Mr. Baker.
Thank you, Mayor. First and foremost, praise to God, thank you. And just want to give staff, Julia, all the hard work, putting everything together and getting this town running. So thank you for that, for all the public events. Chief, thank you, sir, for keeping everybody safe. Roberta, working on the finances. Emily, Kim, just everybody here and staff for all your help. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, that takes us to you, Mr. Van.
Unfortunately, I don't have anything else to add. Thank
Use it
you.
all up.
Yeah, use it up. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I will keep it short. I hope everybody did have a nice holiday weekend. The weather for the first part was nice, and then it got a little messy thereafter. Attended the St. Baldwick's event at Farm Brew. That was awfully fun. Got to shave the head, which was really great. Senior summits on the 23rd, starting at 10 and going till 2. So I'm excited about that. Super excited about the farmers market. I think I talk about that like every other minute. And then just wanted to make note that the weather is getting warmer. So there are more of us out walking about with our strollers on our bikes. Please be careful. Just make note. And I look forward to seeing everybody this weekend. That's it.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Wow. I know.